In this tutorial, we're going to walk you through the steps of taking sleeves and a hood off your hoodie and installing them on your denim jacket. To start, you need your denim jacket, your hoodie of course, and a de-threader and scissors. So you're going to want to start by de-threading the armholes, and this is going to be fairly tricky because most denim jackets are double stitched. You're just going to want to go slow and work at this. It's going to take some time getting these off. You can always just go ahead and use scissors and cut them off too, but you're still going to have those seams there. So pretty much you're trying to get rid of all that threading so that way you have a clean edge right there. And as you can see right there, that clean edge, this makes it easy to sew on that hoodie arm. So this is what you're looking for in the end. So now you're going to want to take your hoodie and just cut off the sleeves. You don't have to worry about being perfect on these. Just make both of them somewhat even so you don't have one arm longer than the other. Now you're going to want to cut your hood off and just cut around. I usually cut above the seam on the hood. Other than that, this step is fairly simple. So we went ahead and serged in the sides of the sleeves just to make them a little more narrow and fit better. And ideally you're trying to make them just a little bit smaller than the armhole so you can pull that fabric so it will fit to that hole. I generally like to go a little bit smaller. It just makes for a better fit in the end. Now you're going to want to flip your sleeve inside out and then slide it into that armhole and put the right sides together. And then I like to start at the bottom of the armhole, right at the armpit seam, and just work around from there all the way around. And you don't have to line up the sleeve and the denim perfectly. You can be a little off, you can trim it off later. It's not going to make a huge difference in the end. So again, go ahead and trim off that excess sweatshirt fleece. And of course, you're going to want to repeat this step for the other arm. So now for the hood, you can either just sew it on with that raw edge, or what we're doing here is we're folding it inward in the right sides together, so that way it will be a nice flush seam when we sew it on. So before you start sewing your hood on, you're gonna wanna check to see if the hood matches up, and ours does not, so we went ahead and put a pleat in the middle, and this will save you from starting to stitch and de-threading later. But we're going past the collar to the buttons. You're gonna wanna sew just below the center of the collar, and this will allow for when the collar is flapped over, it will hide the stitch. But yeah, you can pin your pleat in the center of your jacket and then start from one side and work your way to the other. And just like that, your hood is installed and ready for action. Thanks everyone for watching. Be sure to like, subscribe, comment. Let us know what you think. We're gonna be doing more jacket transformations, so stick around and see what we come up with next.